All right, so I made me some real pretty notes this time. Instead of my notebook notes, I actually typed them out and printed them. That way that I can see them. So we're going to talk about we are the creators of our reality, so let's start creating. So I want to start out talking how quantum physics states matter forms by being observed. Giving your attention to something makes it exist. That's a powerful statement, by the way. It's easy to say it so nonchalantly, giving something, oh yeah, sure, it gave something my attention to exist. Yeah, but what are we giving our attention to? We're going to dig into that. Law of attraction says energy attracts equal energy. That's a very powerful statement as well. What kind of energy are we putting out? So let's dig into that. I want to give you some things to ponder. How do you observe your life? What do you truly think about yourself and your life at this point? When you look over your life and how you've lived all the way up to now, how do you see it? How do you observe it? Do you see it in a positive way? Or do you have a lot of regret? Do you have a lot of hurt? And how do you view that overall life? If you're looking back at your whole life, what do you see about it? How do you think about it in your mind? How do you think of yourself? Do you see yourself as successful, having the things you want in life? Or do you see yourself as a failure? Do you think you've let yourself down? Do you think you're a disappointment? You're not, trust me. What energy are you vibrating out into the universe? Are you vibrating an energy of anxiety and fear and doubt? Do you really ever take time to think about what kind of energy you're vibrating out, or are you just kind of going through life, you know? Which is easy to do. Have you set limits to how big you can dream? Can you visualize a world at peace? Or can you visualize something even bigger? Can you see a totally different world altogether? What if you let your mind wander and be open to the most outrageous thoughts, and you let go of all limiting beliefs? Just let your imagination go wild. Our imagination, as I've talked about many times over the years, is our greatest gift. It's a superpower. It's something that is treated as a thing that a kid has, but it's not. It's something we have our whole lives. It's always there. We can tap into it anytime we want. But we have to actually see it as this superpower. We have to see it as this gift. Because it is. It's unbelievable. Daydreaming and fantasizing about better things for yourself, for the world around you. It's not a game. It's not something silly. This is where the magic is. I can't tell you how many times I accidentally daydreamed about something and it happened. I was manifesting long before I even knew what manifesting was. And it was because I've always been a daydreamer. I've always been the kid with my head in the clouds. And even though they discouraged me from that when I was young, and they still discourage us from it as adults, I'm a rebel. I don't like to do what I'm told. So I imagine all the time about things. And it's unbelievable when I take off those limits and I let my brain just go, what I can imagine. Holy cow. You guys know I love sci-fi. I mean, I'm still waiting to live in the Star Trek world. Where money isn't a thing. And everybody gets to explore life. It's not impossible, you know. Gene Roddenberry, that man had an imagination. And what an imagination he had. And, you know, we think about how so many things in our technology and stuff like that have come from movies and things in the past where people are like, I wonder if we can really do that. You know, imagination. So humans have been in a box for way too long. We are evolving, but we could do better than this. We could do a whole lot better than this. We've gotten off track. We need a complete reboot. I mean, we have the ability to create a big jump forward where we shake off the old thought process and we become open to our mind's unbelievable creative abilities. This is not impossible, I promise you. One of the key ways to doing this is by tapping into our child mind. We gotta let them help. Our child mind is always with us. And it's such a beautiful place to be in your child mind. Because your child version of you lives inside of you and is always there. A couple years ago, Brian Clark, our wonderful musician friend, he gave us a talk. And he talked about how we have all the versions of ourselves riding on this school bus, and we're the ones driving the bus. And how these different versions are always shouting out different things. And maybe that's where some of those insecurities come, from that younger version of you that went through something that was very traumatic. And I don't ever want to downplay anybody's trauma. We all have our own trauma we might have went through. But there are all these other voices that are not just trauma voices. There are these other encouraging voices that come from versions of us that hadn't been through trauma yet, that were young and believed in anything could happen. And that person is still there. And that person is there to help you along your journey. Like, every version of us is still there to help us with our future journey. Like, we can't discredit any of those versions. But the childlike mind, I think, is the most important one, because it's the one that's going to really help us tap into our imagination, our creative process. But look, it takes a lot of effort to reprogram yourself, okay? And it's going to probably be a lifelong journey. I'm not going to give you any false illusions that you're going to be able to fix this all in one day. But it's going to be worth it. The whole journey is going to be worth it, because as you're deprogramming yourself and you're opening your mind up to what you're able to do and the possibilities, the way you're going to feel is just going to change your whole life. But we have to dig deep into our attachments, because we have a lot of attachments. A lot of attachments to thought processes and the way things have been shown to us, But if we can take the time to kind of look at those attachments and slowly release them, one by one. I mean, it's not going to be, like I said, it's not a one-day thing. So you're focusing on different attachments and finding ways to let them go. It's like a manual reboot. So you're manually rebooting yourself. To do that, the world opens up endless possibilities. I like what Dolores was saying, our body. Our body is a great way to help us, because it sends us signals all the time. It's letting you know when there is something we need to give our attention to. Oftentimes our physical health issues are directly connected to our mental health issues. So if you're having something going on in your stomach or pain in your body, we need to figure out what else is going on. I mean, these are everyday opportunities to heal your inner turmoil and to change your mental state. But you have to be paying attention. You can't ignore your body, which is easy to do. I think a lot of us ignore our body. We don't want to think about what's going on. But ignoring things, we're slowing down the creative process. You know, we got to get in there. We got to do the hard work if we want to actually get this creative process going. When we do the work to free our minds of all the conditioning that society and humans as a species has passed down to us, we can start with clear minds and open hearts. And then we can create an amazing world unlike anything we can imagine before. It is exactly what we can imagine when we free our minds. So it's what we can imagine that can come out. We have an infinite ability to create. The entire world lies in our hands. When we take away our limiting beliefs, we can think beauty into existence. We can speak love and peace into existence. There is nothing we can't do if it's done with love. It's the most powerful energy in the universe. We know this. We talk about it all the time. It flows through us. And it has unbelievable abilities. But we have, as humans, a lot of self-doubt and insecurities. It's common. It's part of the human experience. But that's why it's so important to work through our mental barriers. Once you feel the reset, you will have the confidence of that child that has no fear, that believes they can do anything. That's the good stuff. That's where the magic is. Magic doesn't work without belief. Every book, every movie, I'm a big magic lover. If it's got magic in it, I'm watching it. Everything that I've studied about magic, it's all about intention. I did go for a brief time when I really got into learning about magic and things like that, candle work. I took time where I wrote notes around, kind of like Dolores was talking about, with my intentions. I put all these little things around my room in my bedroom that had my intentions for what I wanted in my life. This was at the very beginning of my metaphysical studies that I started doing that, because I started realizing how important intention is. And it's so easy to get distracted from our intentions, though, right? Life is constantly distracting. And if you're like me and you have ADHD, you get really distracted, like you're double distracted. So to find a way to dig into my intention of things, to quiet all that noise and put my intention on something, that's where the magic is. That's where I made things happen for myself that I didn't think I could make happen. Then up until 6 or 7 years ago, I was just floating through life on default mode, thinking I had no control over anything. I was letting reality create my reality. I wasn't creating it. And it wasn't a great place to be. I mean, I made the best of that reality, albeit, but it wasn't anything like what I've been living the last 6 years. It's been amazing to see the transformation in myself. And again, I know I got a ways to go, but just having that thought process of, I'm in control. This is my life. This is my reality. And I'm going to put my intention into what I want for my life, what I want to see in my life, how I want to think about myself. I get to control that. And so do you. I mean, it's all our own perspective, what we live, what we see. So change your perspective. It's not an impossible thing. We have the ability to change. We are ever-changing beings. So let's, kind of give it a boost. Let's really change. Let's make some big differences in how we talk to ourselves, how we talk to others, how we view the world around us. That is creating your reality. It's not anything big, glamorous. It's something as simple as just how you talk to yourself, how you talk to others, that kindness that you need to always hold on to. And when the world and things are trying to pull you away from that thought process, you got to pull yourself back. And if it takes putting little notes in your car, little notes in your room, playing the right music. I mean, I'm constantly finding new music. I found some music recently that's like talking about just opening up chakras, but it was kind of like some fun little funky music along with it. And I was like, oh, this is cool, So I'm always looking for ways to change my perspective, to get myself on that page of this is what I want for my life. Not what the news is telling me, not what my neighbor's telling me, not what my family's telling me. I know what kind of life I want to live, and that's where I'm putting my intention. That's where I'm putting my words and my thought process. But it's going to take you constantly reminding yourself, you're not going to do it automatically. Magic works when we believe. So let's make magic. I challenge you to find some time in your schedule to spend working on your deprogramming. To really think about it like that. I'm going to start deprogramming my brain and start opening myself up to making magic in my life. Make it a priority. Make yourself a priority. Because when you do this, what you do for yourself and for your life is going to spread out to everyone around you. You're going to be an example. You're going to put that energy out into the universe. You're going to attract that energy back to yourself. It's going to be this thing that's going to spread all around, from your family, from your neighborhood, from your community here in MSC. It's a beautiful thing that we have that kind of power. We just have to believe it. And we have to put that intention into it. And stop just letting life take us along and show us what we're supposed to have. We know. We got to listen to our heart. We got to tap into that divine energy and let it guide us. That's where the magic is. And that's my talk today.